Welcome to Trapping Inc. I'm Rich Mellon. Firewood is one of those things that never ends. If you're going to live off-grid and in the bush, you have to have a dependable source of heat. For us out here, it's beetle-killed pine, and it's a big chore. I mean, we go through about 6 cords every winter. This year, I am using the brand new 34-ton splitter done by Range Road, and the cool thing about it is not only does it tackle everything that a big hydraulic splitter can split, but also the stroke on it is 3 seconds. 3 seconds. So I no longer have any need for an axe whatsoever. All of my wood now is stove sizes. I'm not just using a splitter just to split the big chunks. I'm using it just like, like I'd use an axe and get it ready for going into the stove. So that is an awesome time saver. Today's show, Sandy and I are out on the line and we're chasing Fisher and Martin.
Trapping is the cornerstone that Canada was built on. Brave and sometimes crazy men and women, fueled by the lucrative fur trade, explored and mapped our great nation. Hundreds of years have passed since then, but trapping still remains vibrant, strong, and steeped in the ancient traditions. The fur bearers still follow the old paths and live as dictated by thousands of years of instinct. Fur only gets prime in the harsh temperatures of winter, and trappers must respect and prepare for the weather. Trapping's past is firmly rooted in history, but today, the gear and techniques have changed. Canada is still known for the best wild fur in the world, and today our pelts are sold on the global market. Our community is large, and our numbers are growing. We are trappers. This is what we do, and where we belong. Join us in our adventures. Welcome to Trapping Inc., the face of today's trapper.
Some marten tracks.
Yep.
They're not very fresh, but
Well, they're so old, but
look what's right here.
look what the bears did again.
Yeah.
What do we say?
Bears are dicks.
That's the best we can do and still be PG, huh?
I think so. Nice 160 going up in there.
Yeah, this counted for a Fisher last year. And then that box back there counted for 2 and a Martin. It's interesting. A lot of people don't understand this, but when we talk about managing a trapline, you actually get more fur the better you manage your trapline and your animals. What happens is your apex predators, the ones at the top of the food chain, become overpopulated and they eat off whether it's their own young of the year or smaller predators or whatever. Look at our marten numbers.
Well, after we started aggressively going after Fisher and lynx,
Yes.
and we saw some noticeable changes in those, we suddenly had more marten.
Oh, way more.
Yeah.
Way more. We've, from start on this line of, I think our worst year was 7 marten. We're now doing about 30 more than that a year. And we're trapping harder than ever.
Yep.
But they're getting more widespread. It's
Yes.
all about management.
It is.
Trapping Inc. is brought to you by Old Smokes Coffee, crafted coffee for the courageous. OldSmokesCoffee.com. Halford Hides, unique beyond compare. Visit us at our Edmonton store location or find us online at halfordsmailorder.com. Range Road Enterprises, professional solutions for the ATV and low-impact logging operation. Find your nearest dealer online at range-road.ca. Argyle Motorsports and Marine. Visit our Edmonton store location or find us online at argylemotorsports.com. This I can see from here is a bad deal. What
happened to everything here, but look at that. I have no idea. It looks like this in here was squirrels. I'll show you. I got nothing to save here. They cut her in half. You just can't believe how much damage they did. This with these fine teeth, that looks like squirrel for sure, but what on earth ripped it in half to begin with is the part I don't understand. It's a shame. Nice marten and on to waste. Oh yeah. What a pretty one. That might be my first female. I can't tell. That big old 160 covers them pretty good. I'll tell you one thing I've noticed on this pickup though, is that everything moved before the snow. There's not tracks in the snow, there's nothing. It's like the world doesn't exist. So it makes it hard to figure out what's around. I don't have, the only tracks I've got right now are believe it or not, moose tracks. And I very seldom ever see a moose out on this line, but I don't have wolf tracks, I don't have coyote tracks, I don't have fisher or marten or nothing. I just, everything is just quiet as can be. And the fur that I've picked up has all had plenty of snow on it. So it's all obviously came before the snow. Here's a couple things I like doing. I like to give them a little bit of a helper. You can see how often they've climbed up this and looked up in here. You can see the foot tracks even in the summertime, right? They're looking up and checking things out. So I like that. I like to have, you know, if I can, like a rough bark tree like this bam tree here. It makes it really easy for them to climb as well. And also, I've got my quick connect in that over here so that he hangs off away from the tree so I don't get any damage. It's all very important. It's we want to make sure that we maximize this fur. When you start having a slow check like that early in the season, you start wondering about your bait, and you start wondering about your lure, and you start wondering about everything. But then when you have a half a dozen and they're all covered in snow and nothing since the snow, makes you think, well, maybe that's got more to do with it than anything. They might have shut down the movement a little bit, but let's move on too.
And now for Halford's Trapper's Tip of the Week.
Today's tech tip, I'm going to talk about the large hag spring clip. Now you've seen how very successful they work for me when it's holding up a 120 on the pole for muskrat. The large one goes on a large 330, 280, a large body grip trap. Now, I don't have this mounted on here correctly. It's supposed to be woven in between here. I don't have the tools here in the store to put it on, so don't look at that and say, oh, he's got it wrong. Yeah, I get lots of things wrong. What the neat thing about this is it's meant to go on half-inch rebar. This is half-inch rebar here. So you've got the situations where you've got a beaver run and it's on land and sometimes it's hard, it's rocky or whatever, but how do you stabilize it? You set the trap, you set it down, and you want that trap to be slightly off the ground. Even if, you know, if we got mud in October and that, you want it to be off that mud so that it doesn't freeze in, because lots of times you come back in the morning and she's been sprung and you know, because it's frozen into the mud, the beaver went right through it. Happens all the time. So this allows you to take and get it slightly off, up off the bottom. Now, even if you want to set it half in and half out of the water on a run, or you want to set it in front of a culvert or whatever, you just drive in a couple stakes. You have your have your spring clip here. Your spring clip pinches on that bar just like it does on the 3/8 rod for the muskrat, and you can position it anywhere. Also anchors it really good. You don't have to worry about your beaver going anywhere. It's going to be right there in the morning.
That was Halford's Trapper's Tip of the Week.
Now there's a favorite sight to see poking out. A martin. And the high box gets the second one. Oh yeah, he just got crushed in there. Oh, yeah, did he ever get crushed. There we go. Up in the high box. It's only here because I was being miserable because the bears had taken and knocked it down, broke it off. This all used to be up high, and then the bears, when they came in and wiped off my boxes here, because my box was sitting about here, broke it all down. And then so I moved my box back up, and now it's it's producing really good. What do we got here? Male. A male, another male. We're real close to the river here. Actually, that's what you call a river. A collection of beaver dams and sloughs and over there, but the water does manage to head downhill and end up in lakes and stuff like that. But well, let's get this one out of here and get going. We're losing light fast. Not much light this time of the year. Bear Hill, one of my favorite spots. It's always good for fisher, but this is easily the first female here. Easily, it's always usually big males. It's a little bit wet. It's funny. Hasn't been here very long. A little bit of silver frosting in them. Very nice. Very nice. A lot of people talk about how big a trap you need to have for a fisher. As long as you're dealing with certified traps, make sure that the trap that you're using is certified. But there are several brands of 120s that are certified for fisher, and you really truly don't need anything larger. Some of my biggest fisher ever have come from this particular box even, and they've all came in a 120. If they can get their head in it, it's not a big deal. It'll do the job. But make sure not every 120 is certified for fisher. That little change in weather is nice. It's warmed up. You've seen that. We've got quite a crust on the snow, and a lot of them are wet or look like they've been wet because it just rained, and it did over the last 2 days. Now I don't know whether they were hanging here before that or not, but I do know that when we've last couple weeks had some really, really cold weather, and then when you have that nice change in weather, things get moving. Whether it's in November, December, January, it doesn't matter.
Trapping Inc. is brought to you by Old Smokes Coffee, crafted coffee for the courageous.
oldsmokescoffee.com.
Argo,
go anywhere. Argo Extreme Terrain vehicles conquer any terrain, any season. Find us online at argoxtv.com. Hags Trapping Products, the most versatile trapping device on the market. Find our products and dealers online at j30.com. Alberta Outdoorsman Magazine, Alberta's only fishing, hunting, and trapping magazine. Online at albertaoutdoorsman.ca.
And there's a beauty. This whole box has been here a lot of years. I really should replace it or fix it or something before I lose money on it. Squirrels ate a hole in it, so I nailed this piece of another box over top of it. I guess there's still bait in there, because they're still coming. Yeah. He was here for last night anyway, because you can see he'd been rained on. It's nice and soft. This is actually a place where I'm going to set up one of my Wolverine sets too. I could probably put it underneath that big tree right there. Just because I've had Wolverine come in here and rob Martin out of this set. Never get caught, but they come and eat the Martin on me. So I'm going to put one right over there. I'm just off of. I'm just up here. I don't know, maybe half a mile from the major water that runs through the whole line. The river that runs through here. And it's not a big river. Not at this point. I guess they're further down it gets to be bigger, but right now it's not. Anyway, it's always good to be near that major source of water like that. Animals travel on that stuff. There we go. They relate to it. There we go, syrupy. Ugh. Another male. Lots and lots of males. Lots of juvenile males. Very light, unfortunately. Well, I was by here just last night. This is a new section that I've opened up over on the east side of my line. And look at that. That happened last night. You always know it happens at night. You just never think about it being last night, right? Oh, that's a beauty. There we go. Holy cow. Getting quite a run on them this year. That's good. This is quite a bit further north than I usually get martin, so that's awesome. Well, there's the last one. We get her all in?
Might have bit off more than we can stack.
That's the beauty though. I mean, this is so much fun and so quick. It's so easy to cut too much wood.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It all gets burned.
You could actually stay ahead of me with this one.
Yeah. I mean, the other one is not slow, but I can't keep ahead of you like I can with this one.
Well.
It's makes a big difference, but
Yeah.
I also like how I can throw away the axe. I mean, we're down to wood stove now. You know, wood stove chunks. That's it. You know.
Yeah, and there's some beautiful, pitchy, knotty.
Yep. I went backwards on every one of these that I could. I mean, this is as tough as it gets here for us. as wood, but I don't doubt for a second this would bust any wood in North America. That's not a problem.
Well, it's effortless. Like it doesn't.
Grunt or snort or nothing?
No, nothing. That's only you doing that.
Oh! Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Some cold, snowy winter last year. We can only hope for a little bit more moderate attempt at it this year.
Yeah.
We'll see you down the line.
You can keep up with all the action at trappinginc.com or join our Facebook and YouTube sites.